got laid off.
Today is my last day of work. I just got laid off last week.
Got laid off from my job about a month ago. I was given the opportunity to work through the end of this month. And
what's up, financial hawks? On today's video, we're going to be going over, you saw by the title, more tech layoffs. Again, seem like this again hasn't improved, hasn't gotten better. Seem like again it's keep getting worse and worse. And yeah, it seems like my prediction so far, at least for the rest of the year, I'm not seeing this improving. I'm saying in October, November, December, we're going to continually see more and more and more layoffs, and probably throughout 2025, or at least like the early half of 2025. So yeah, if you're applying to different jobs right now and you 100, 200, 300, 400 and you're still not getting the job right now, it's not just you, it's a lot of people right now. Some of these jobs of course are hiring people, but we're getting, again, it seemed like a higher amount of people getting laid off too. And then like a lot of different positions within companies as well. Again, probably due to the influx of people being hired at these jobs, after COVID, back when everybody could work from home, and it was like a whole lot easier time, especially on social media. And I think not 100% the company's fault. I say maybe like 80%. But I'm gonna say also too 20% also was some of the people as well. Again, on social media saying, yeah, I'm not doing nothing at my job. I work at Amazon. I'm not doing nothing at my job here. I can just chillax and make 100K plus. You guys who are doing stuff like that, dry snitching, you're also the problem. Some of you guys are like, man, it's like no forward thinking. Like, oh, my job is super easy right now. Let me just post and gloat and do all this. And I've seen several videos too of people who were doing that and then coming back after they got fired saying, oh, wow, my bad, or I feel bad now. Yeah, you're also part of the reason. Not 100% for all these jobs, but people doing stuff like that and not helping people out. And now these companies know, you don't necessarily need all these employees for certain roles. And now you got AI and other tech and making it easier for companies not to need humans. It's like, if it gets easier again, don't gloat, don't post it online. To live your best life. You don't need to post and let everybody else know. You usually live your best life. Well, let's go ahead and play this first video right here, and I'll share my thoughts on this. You guys can share your thoughts too in the comments.
Been getting laid off in 2024. I wanted to talk a little bit about why this is happening. We can talk a little bit about the start of World War III and the fact that there's an election coming up. But one of the biggest reasons that there are a whole bunch of tech layoffs is because of the expiration of a certain tax credit, Article 174. Basically, for the past couple of years, companies have been able to write off a lot of tech jobs as R&D tax-deductible expenses. Technical and functional IT jobs were basically being a tax write-off. That just expired. Now companies have to report this as income. In order to look like they're still profitable on the books, people have been getting laid off. Layoff cycles like this are usually cyclical. We just gotta hang in tight.
Okay, so this is the second video I've actually seen them talking about I believe the second one, about the research and development, that whole thing changing. So now they're laying out people because of that. Now they had to report that as income. Interesting. So I guess they couldn't write that out as a tax deductible or something along those lines. But this is my second time actually hearing that as being possibly one of the reasons for everybody, or a lot of these people, having these influxes of job layoffs for these companies. That's definitely interesting. And I'm pretty sure in the future, we'll definitely see more job layoffs that may be in conjunction with other maybe laws getting passed or laws leaving, expiring, different things of that nature. So, that is something to also think about too, kind of just going further, looking at some of these tech layoffs or just layoffs in jobs in general, but especially in tech. So as I talked about too, with the election coming, they could also be, I guess, partially the reason. And I've seen people talk about this too. And this one, I'm actually asking you guys in the comments, when they say the election, is starting or whatnot, and that's why everybody's getting laid off, or why inflation, everything is increasing. Wouldn't it make more sense for the president or whatever to make inflation less, increase the amount of money people are making, make sure there are less layoffs prior to the election, so that you're more likely to want to vote for that candidate? Or maybe it's something I'm missing. I haven't really looked into it, but maybe if I look into it more, I may see something. But seeing her, I guess, ask that or put that statement there just piqued my interest again on that, because I've heard that before. And I'm like, wouldn't it make sense to be like do the opposite? Like, yeah, like let me make sure this economy is super great right now before the election, so that you're more likely to vote for me. Because like, hey, look at like you can be like, hey, look what's going on right now. Everything good. Nobody getting laid off, or not that many people getting laid off. Everybody getting money. Like more people can get houses. You vote for me again, and we're going to continue this. But it seemed like from what I've been seeing on stuff, like usually I get during election time, it goes down. And so I'm intrigued. Like you would think the opposite would work, but hey, maybe making everything go down can help you out. Like, hey, if you vote for me now, it'll go back up. I'm not for sure how that works, but I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts on that too, because I've heard that before. And again, I haven't looked into it, but that got me intrigued. But yeah, the research and development, like getting expired, being part of the reason on why and companies want to make more money. Again, companies making wanting to make more money regardless is going to be a reason that you're going to see layoffs in any space. But it's different hearing about like the law expiring or that bill or whatever expiring as well. But you also made a good point about everything being like in a cycle of life, the circle of life. Like you're gonna be layoffs, gonna be layoffs, and then upkeeps or up starts of more people getting hired in jobs. So you got people laid off, go up, lay off, go up. It's like kind of like a roller coaster. So even though we're in a downturn, it's like a bad part of the roller coaster. Eventually, it was going to have to go up at some point, right? It just can't keep going down, and we still have the country itself. Like at some point it's gonna have to go back up. So if it doesn't, then yeah, we're in other trouble. Hey, we might be in some wars, maybe some civil wars, maybe some other stuff like that going on. But if we're not getting any of that, it's gonna eventually have to go up. So if you're grinding right now, don't give up on yourself right now. Again, I've seen videos talking about people shouldn't go to comp sci, computer science, like because right now is bad right now. But if you're telling freshmen this right now, in 3-4 years, it can be completely different. It can be plenty of jobs right now. So if you're younger and you're watching this and you think about getting some type of tech field right now because it's bad for layoffs, does not mean 3-4 years from now it's going to still be bad. I'm pretty sure by then it'll be up, like for sure by then. So yeah, if you're trying to get towards a computer science degree, I still recommend that. I still recommend that right now. If you're already like in school, like don't let people I guess fear monger and scare you.
First, apply for unemployment right away. It can take a while for it to kick in, so you're going to want to get that paperwork in sooner rather than later. Second of all, do not sign anything. Really dig into that severance package or severance agreement that they give you. You may want to even have an attorney look at it. Here are a list of things I've heard of people being able to negotiate in those severance packages. So if you got wasn't very good, see if you can negotiate up some of those areas. My third tip is to take a hard look at your finances. There may be subscription services that you're going to want to cancel. There may be things now that you're not working, you'll have time to do, so you can cancel some of the things you've been outsourcing. I know that's not fun to think about, but unemployment is not going to replace your full salary. And so you want to figure out how to make your money stretch as far as possible. And in addition, see if there are some ways that you can start building up some potential cash flow. Depending on what your background is, you might sign up with staffing agencies, you might start picking up some contract work. Maybe it makes sense to do like DoorDash or Instacart, things like that. And the last tip I'll share is to really let your network know that you are looking and get them working for you. I do recommend using the open to work banner on LinkedIn because it will prompt you to create a post, and LinkedIn really likes to push those posts out, so that can get you a lot of attention. And I'll add in a second a couple of examples of ones I've seen that are really good. My suggestion is to really keep your messaging focused on you, what you bring to the table, what you are looking for in that next role, and what you have to offer your next employer. And make sure that you're doing this with your personal network as well. Let people know on Facebook, let people know in your local community groups. Those are people who know you and they're more invested in helping you, but make sure they understand exactly like what you're looking for. And I think I may have already said that for my last one, but this is my actual last one, is make sure that you still make time for yourself. Do not let your entire world be finding a new job. Still take time to do some of the things you like, to take a walk, to get fresh air, just like take care of yourself. So hopefully these tips help. And if folks have been through layoffs, you like to take a walk to get.
Okay, that was a lot. Let me go to the beginning of this real quick.
I'm so sorry that you were laid off, and I saw that it's your first time, so I just wanted to offer a couple of tips.
Okay, just making sure that was about you getting laid off, or I guess like the first thing to do when you get laid off. So yeah, I think some of these are actually pretty good. PTO payout, yeah, if you're able to get that, covering costs of insurance for 6+ months, yeah, if you can negotiate that a few more weeks or more salary, hey, yeah, I mean, if you can, ask them and see what they say, I don't see no issue with that. Covering the cost of outplacement services, okay. Early investing, stock options, or extending period to buy options, okay. Yeah, so I mean, if you're able to negotiate that when you get laid off, hey, and you get a severance package, I don't see no issue with that. She also talked about too about downgrading some of your like your subscriptions and stuff to save money. Now, yeah, I think that's actually a good thing. Like saving money in that sense is good because you may be spending money on stuff or frivolous things that with your current salary is not affecting you a lot. But if you getting a drastic like salary deduction, salary or a drastic amount of money that you're making is if it's lower, if you're making a whole lot more lower is out of nowhere, then yeah, you dropping certain things during that time, I think is smart. Like yeah, you dropping your subscriptions on in that sense, you dropping how much you're paying for like coffee. I'm stopping the Starbucks, stopping this and that. Yeah, so you can have your money, I guess, stretch longer during this period. And yeah, I think that's definitely good because you can have again a little extra money, and then you can spend that time to again apply to other jobs, apply to other things that you can make some money in, and just keep more money during this time period. So then when you are making more money again, then you can get back to getting your subscriptions and getting your other stuff if you like it. But yeah, and stuff like situation like this, yeah, it is kind of actually good to actually start downgrading how much you're actually spending each month, like because you don't like necessarily know when you're going to be getting that next job, and it's always harder to get a job when you don't have a job versus when you have a job. When you have a job and you're applying to jobs, it's like so much easier versus when you don't have any. So if you are looking at getting another job, this is a good time right now if you already have a job, especially in tech right now. If you already got the experience, it is. And like if you get the experience and you currently have a job, it's going to be a lot easier for you versus you not having anything. And I know part of it definitely like psychological because like if you're making good money right now and you're applying to jobs and you get a rejection, it's like okay, I got a rejection, but I'm still good. I'm still making money. I'm still happy. So that process is going to be a whole lot easier on you versus when you're stressed and you're like, dang, I really need to get the job ASAP. You can't sleep right. You can't really focus right. You can't really do anything right. That's when it gets really tough. And I want to say this last point that popped up on the screen. Being laid off is not a vacation or a break. It's like a full-time job. Yeah. Being laid off is not a vacation or break. Yeah. Definitely don't view you getting laid off as a vacation or a break unless you get like a super huge severance package, like we've been saying some people do and can do a whole lot of traveling. Yeah, if you got that luxury to do that, then hey, that's different. But most people don't have that luxury. And you're not getting a huge severance package. So yeah, treat that time as a full-time job. You can get your breaks in, like your 15-minute break here, 15-minute break here, like I said, to get fresh air, whatnot. But you don't want to just become very complacent on just getting unemployment because once that run out, then where you're at now. And again, you're not gonna be making as much money in your unemployment as you did with your full salary, and like you're not getting paid the same right there. So I think that's some good advice. Let's go ahead and play this next one here. Q4 layoffs. That's what we're currently in right now.
I found out today my job is being eliminated. And like many of you in this crappy economy and in this crappy job market, I will be looking for a new job in Q4 when basically nobody is hiring. So if you know anybody hiring a remote operations manager or a remote business analyst, I have experience in both things. Let me know in the comments. Or if you're just looking for a Christmas gift or something off the TikTok shop, please feel free to check out my showcase and help me out in this.
Yeah. This is a bad time. Again, like right by Christmas. I understand how they can feel too. I got laid off before towers. Now, I talked about it too, like it different, like how it's kind of set up. I think they do it so they don't have to pay like medical and like other stuff like that. But like after you're there for like a year or two, they usually like lay you off, give you all the paperwork and everything so you can get unemployment. They give you step-by-step instructions and then just rehire you like in 4 or 5 months. But yeah, when that happened to me, it was like I think on my birthday. I think it was on my birthday, which was like right before Christmas too, which is crazy. But I wasn't like, it needs to hit me out of the blue because we are like everybody at the company already knew this could happen. Knew after the season, after selling the medical, medical stuff, medical insurance stuff. After that season's over, I think it ended December 8th. It's like it starts like October or something. I want to say to like December 8th, something along those lines. But after that whole season's up, and yeah, that's over. Then yeah, like they don't need that many people at the company, so then they just lay everybody off and then hire you again. You do the training, get all your certifications in different states, and then yeah, it's just you get ready again for the next season of selling people on that. But yeah, if I wasn't expecting it, I know that would be even more detrimental. And I know a lot of people are unfortunately dealing with that. You be at a job for a while and it will lay you up for Christmas. And it sucks because, you may have a lot of different plans. You might have kids, family, you want to help out, and now without that job, you're stressing during Christmas. You're not really enjoying that as much. And I do have empathy for that because they can definitely suck. You would think they could move it to like January, February, but I think they do it for their booking. Like trying to say, hey, we're still making this amount, this amount of money still. It's making the company look good on the financial side of things, but. Well, the financial side of things, that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be good for everyday people, the regular people at a job. So yeah, that definitely sucks. I don't see this improving for a lot of these jobs, especially in tech right now. I think we're going to still continue to see layoffs after layoffs after layoffs the rest of October, November, and December, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and play this next one here.
There's some real life-ish going on right now. Found out this morning that my manager is leaving and we don't know what's going to happen with my team. We were told to expect a one-on-one with the VP, who we now technically, as of next week, will be reporting to. That is in just over an hour from now. So I don't know if this means I'm going to have a job, I'm going to be moved to a different team. I have no freaking clue. And honestly, I'm freaking terrified. We'll see what happens. Well, this sucks. Apparently, TikTok is now my only source of income. I've just been made redundant due to restructuring. I can't even begin to process this right now. If I'm not as active on here for the next day or so, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this because it friggin' sucks. Absolutely sucks. To anyone else who's going through it, I'm with you. I feel you.
Dang, yeah. Again, I don't see this improving like the rest of this year. I really don't. And you do got to watch out when you're getting like random emails like from managers and whatnot. I've been seeing that a lot. Like those you get like a spur of a moment email, to meet with like the manager or meet with like some higher up. Not necessarily saying 100% of the time you're going to get laid off, but yeah, you should be mindful. You should definitely be mindful. And she was, and she, fortunately lost her job, but she did have, multiple sources of income. She has TikTok as well. I don't know how much money she's making on TikTok, but actually, you know what? Let me take a quick look at her page, and this might give me like maybe a small like little glimpse on how much she might be making. Let me share this with you guys here. So she has only 3,000 following. Okay, never mind. Okay, yeah, she's following 3,000 people, but she has about 40K followers. Okay, 1.1 million likes. Let me look at some of the views. 1.5 million. Okay, so yeah, she could be making 1,000 plus, maybe 1,000 to 2,000 plus a month, possibly. Some of these are lower. Yeah, she could maybe like 500 to 1,500, maybe around there. And the reason I'm saying that because she has about 40K followers on Instagram. When I was around that age, around that follower account, I was making like maybe like 1.1 thousand to maybe close to 2K around there, around that 40K on Instagram. And if I'm just using that same comparison on TikTok, I would say she's making, some type of money. Of course, she might not be making her full time that she was making, but hey, extra $1,000 a year. $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. That still, you can still do stuff. And then too, if she's getting unemployment and she's making an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month, she'll be able to weather the storm better than somebody who isn't making that extra 1,000, who isn't making that extra 2,000. So again, even if it's like something small, you don't necessarily have your side income making a ton of money. If it's making the extra $1,000, that can add up a lot. And then if you putting that $1,000 away somewhere. So then if you do get laid off, you have that there in like a savings, you'll be doing real good right there. You'll be doing real good. And let's go ahead and play this last one here. Let me put the volume on and yeah, let's start this.
So I was at work today and this older lady asked me, why do you young kids not want to have children anymore? Why do you young people not want to have children anymore? And I said, because we can't afford it. And then she said, that's a lie. And I looked at her and I was like, and then she was like, well, all you got to do is work hard and get a college education. If you got a college education, you would be okay. And I look at her, I was like, ma'am, I have a college education. She's like, why are you working at Home Depot? I was like, because nobody's hiring. And I got fired from my good paying job. It was really interesting to hear that. And then she was like, my family came here with nothing and my dad started a business. I was like, so You're telling me to take advice from someone who didn't have to work their whole life?
I think that was a good one to end it on. I think that was a good one to end it on. Yeah, I think no, not me thinking I know. I know this. A lot of older people are just like in a whole different type of mindset, it's a whole different type of time zone. They don't actually see what's actually going on right now. If you're older, I'm talking about like 60 plus, and you're watching this YouTube video, for example, or you on YouTube or social media, you actually may understand because you've probably seen it from people, a lot of people, all demographics, ages, races, etc., talking about how crazy it is. So you actually may see it, but all the other people who may not be on social media, whatnot, still live in this fairy land in their brain that, hey, if you get a college degree, you're gonna end up becoming rich, and that is false. You just having a degree will not make you rich. That is a fact. You simply just having a degree will not make you rich, will not make you successful. You simply just having a degree. What is your degree in? That's important. That's important. Or did your job get laid off? Everybody getting all these, different layoffs. A lot of tech jobs, a lot of people making good money getting laid off, not able to get a job soon. You got bills, you got family you got to pay for. Like he said, he's working at Home Depot now versus other job. And again, they just think it like you get that college degree, for example, and you could be super easy. You're going to be able to get the next job just like that. And I'm sorry, this is not the case. Everybody got degrees now. And also too, you're like the competition is a whole lot higher again, because you're not just, you're just not in competition with just people around you. You're in competition with other states, because a lot of jobs are remote now. A lot of people are able to move in to your state, and if you have to be there in person. And then also too, you're competing with a lot of other people from other countries as well, who are, again, maybe in their own countries, and it's a remote job and they're competing against you, or they recently moved here and they're also competing with you in these jobs. And like, you're not just in lower income jobs, there's also in tech jobs too. You got, it's just like there's a whole lot more competition. A lot of these jobs not requiring you to have some type of high education. They're requiring you to have experience and be able to do the thing. And just because you have a degree does not necessarily mean you have any idea. All the stuff I was learning in school, I'm not using or utilizing within my job. Like when I was seeing some of these people talking about some of their tech jobs, some of the stuff they have them doing in school or programming in school, and then they start working and they're not even using those type of programming languages. They're getting taught old stuff. It's like you're like so far behind because tech, especially tech, is growing so fast. So you're hearing some stuff from older people who already you're in something for 4 years. Whereas during that whole time period, by the time you're out, it's like you're missing years of experience in different things that you would have gotten if you were out in the field. So yeah, it's definitely tough out here. Definitely not easy. And you see a lot of people who haven't really experienced that much, or thought they experienced that much just by living, but not actually seeing what everybody else is actually going through today, who actually have to work, more than 40 hours a week. You got people who had to work 40 and less, telling you, somebody who has to work more than 40 hours a week, how easy they got it. No, you had it easy. It's a whole lot harder now, and it's going to continue to get harder. And again, working at Towers Watson, a lot of the people at my job, and this was before COVID or anything, like a lot of people there were older people who saw how crazy it is now. You're working for a job 20, 30 years and they just lay you off. You think you're about to, retire soon, and they just lay you off and take all your benefits away. Now you're struggling. Like now you had to get this lower paying job. Now you're not able to pay, for certain things, pay for X, Y, Z. You had to downgrade your house, downgrade everything at 60, at freaking 60 plus. And a whole lot more people are seeing this now. I guarantee you a whole lot more older people are going to be seeing this too, if they get, laid off soon, if they haven't already got laid off soon. But a lot of younger people are saying this, they're going to trickle down. And yeah. Again, I just don't see this improving the rest of this year. Hopefully by next year, maybe mid-year next year, hopefully. But again, I guess, it's election time right now. And I guess somehow that means everything has to go down during this time period. So hopefully after this whole thing is done, over with, hopefully we can start getting this economy and everything back up. Hopefully salaries can hopefully start increasing, and or at least hopefully we can get, less layoffs and more job openings, because we got a lot of people who want jobs. We got a lot of people grinding out here for jobs right now, grinding, applying to jobs, upskilling, and they're still having trouble right now. And this is in tech too, not just in every field. I've talked about this on my videos plenty of times. Check out my video over me applying to over 1,500 jobs to get my current job. It's a grind out here, but you can do it if you believe in yourself. and to take the correct actions too. You're gonna have to continue upskilling yourself while you're applying to jobs, networking, etc., etc., to get your face out there, your name out there, your experience out there. It's a lot, but it's doable. People are still getting jobs right now. It's not impossible. It's hard, but it's not impossible right now. See you guys in the next one. Peace.